Good evening, Rochester. Britt Noser here, your candidate for mayor with the Setting a New Course podcast. One of the chief jobs of the mayor, purviews of the mayor in Rochester with the weak mayor system, is chief magistrate. And so public safety and law enforcement is one of the principal issues of my campaign. And so when we look at Rochester right now, a lot of people go right to the year-over-year crime statistics. And we've had a slight uptick as since the pandemic and George Floyd, most of the country has. But we haven't had what you would call a crime wave in the statistics. And so I was interested in this, so dug a little deeper and talked to a lot of people and got their opinion about, because the perception in Rochester from the citizens is that there's more crime. There's more shootings, there's more drug overdoses, there's violence in the schools. And so there's this perception that there's more crime. The statistics don't necessarily show that full force. Well, here's why. You have a couple different verticals going on. You have the situation with the fallout from George Floyd, where you had politicians kind of standing police down. And from what I understand, what I've heard in Rochester is that that was the case here as well, where there's a little bit of a restrained enforcement of our laws. And you have another situation where you have the judicial system not prosecuting crimes or reducing charges. So you have that situation, you end up with violent offenders back out. And I also discovered that we do not have a juvenile detention center in Olmsted County, and that our juvenile offenders who need to be incarcerated or jailed are sent far away from Rochester. We do have a facility here, but it's currently kind of shuttered or mothballed. And so we have a situation in schools where you almost have these autonomous zones where there's violence and crime essentially, and there's a timidness to have a law enforcement presence there. There was talk of the school administrators didn't want the police in uniforms because that was scary to the children. I think we have the fruits of that, the results of that lack of seriousness on discipline in the schools in terms of the mayor's position with public safety, is you have a serious situation going on there. So I would say that as mayor too, I would point out that I would be very interested in stepping up in a police surge. I mentioned in the first debate, when's the last time we had a prostitution sting? When's the last time we had a sex trafficking sting or a drugs sting? I'm not saying our police aren't doing a good job right now, but I'm saying it is the choice of the mayor to step it up and to procure more funding, and that is not being done right now. Right now, the mayor is more focused on gender ideology and pronouns and making sure you have micromanaging the hiring of police officers rather than just hiring good quality police officers. Just judging people on the content of their character. So you have some misplaced priorities, and the end result of that is problems with crime in Rochester. I mean, we just had seizures where they were measuring the drugs in pounds of cocaine. And so this can't be allowed to go on. My plan, my intention is not to just keep the statistics flat. You have to look at the decade over decade. The FBI keeps these statistics. Look at the decade over decade, and you'll see a different picture of crime in Rochester. Crime has been high for a long time. Rochester is not one of the safest cities in Minnesota. I think this should change. I think we can do better, and I think that would be a goal worth setting, and it would be a role in terms of proactiveness that I would play as mayor. So, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, good day.